Welcome to another episode of the StarchCast! This time in the flesh. We're going to be talking about one of the most fucked up VTuber agencies in the world. That's right, prepare for the iceberg, and today's guest is Kamoku. Say hi.
Yo, what's up, guys? We're at it again.
Lord have mercy.
Y'all better strap in, get your seatbelts, get your safety harnesses, get your hard hats, get your parachutes. This is gonna be a wild ride.
You ain't kidding. For those of you guys who are not aware what we're talking about, we're going to be talking about one of the worst black companies of the 21st century so far, at least in terms of the online space for VTubing, Niji Sanji.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. So starting off real quick for anyone that, so going back to the very beginning, this all starts off, let's say 2020, because 2019, they've been around for more than 5-ish years. They didn't really take off until 2019 going into 2020 when the lockdowns happened from the 19 pandemic. During that time, nobody was going out, nobody was doing anything, people got bored, so of course they started watching more. VTubers became more prevalent because of that, so everybody starts popping off. This one company, aka that's headquartered in Japan but had multiple branches set up. They had a total of, I think, 800 plus talents at the time. It's Niji Sanji. They had an Indonesia branch, they had an English branch, they had a Japanese branch, they had a Korea branch, they had a Chinese branch. Well, as time went on, they started trimming the fat because the things started to, from oversaturation, things started to level out. So you had to start cutting where you weren't making any money. But around 2020, 2021, going into 2022, you start hearing reports of people getting screwed over by the company where they're not getting the funding they're supposed to, they're not getting any help from their managers, and then on top of that, anyone that talks about the company in a negative light is getting orbital striked without even a moment's notice, just because the company cannot afford to take any dents in their PR. Granted, most companies do that, just not to the extent of what this VTuber agency was doing. Um, so I think the very first screw up was with a VTuber called Zion Lamza in 20, I think it was 2022 or 2023, and for that they cited breach of contract and use of crude humor,
That's pretty
which,
fucking rich.
yeah, which is like literally it was just like at the end of the day, what it was is some stream from a year before that was referenced as the reason why the termination happened. And if I can look it up real quick, Zion Lamza had done a joke about basically having an animated bag of nuts that says "these nuts" on the sack, put right next to her. But then they said the company says, "Yeah, no, that's no good. You can't do that because there's already a third party that has that as their brand name. You're gonna get us in trouble."
I see.
So we're gonna go ahead and use that as evidence because you've done this more than once. And then people were coming out of the woodwork to shit on Zion Lamza, and yeah, it was bad. And well, the only reason it was a graduation and not a termination is because Zion was able to actually pull dirt on the company. This is the EN branch when I think it was their seventh wave. This is who it was.
Wait, could
The
you
the
hold up for a second?
Yeah, what's up?
Can you explain what a wave is to the audience who would be unaware?
Yeah. Okay. So for the best way I can explain it, you have generations. So like you have Gen One, Gen Two, Gen Three. With Niji Sanji, they called it waves. So you had first, second, third, fourth, up to the seventh wave, and then you have waves that have come out after that. Um, the best way to explain it is like for those that play Pokemon, you have the OG trading cards that came out at the very beginning of the entire inception of it. Then you had the Gen 2 cards, Gen 3 cards, Gen 4 cards. Better way to explain it also, take a look at the car that you're driving. Cool. What year is that from? 2007? Cool. That's the 2007 edition of that specific model. And years subsequent from that, they refresh or update the design, and it's newer. It's the new hotness essentially. This is the new this is the new thing we're peddling at you, and we hope you like. In the case of entertainment industries, it's we hope you like the entertainment. Um, which that's that's the whole kit and caboodle of what a wave is. It's just this edition or this version of VTubers that we're going to be backing up as as an entertainment package, and that's just simply because over time things happen. You end up losing members from previous waves. They move on to go do something else, or they decide, hey, we're done. I don't want to do this anymore, and they retire. Cool. Well, the more that happens, the less people you have, so you kind of have to keep bringing in fresh talent all the time. It's um, it's very much reminiscent of the Japanese idol culture, where there's always a new face in the entertainment industry that's making waves because they're always looking for the next latest and greatest as far as talent is concerned. Um,
All
let's
right.
see. Yeah, so that's pretty much that pretty much explains waves. Although I'm sure someone out there be like, "No, you got it wrong." That's how I have come to understand it. It's also a whole thing where you gotta. It's a deep dive in and of itself. Just to keep it simple, it's pretty much the wave is this is the current iteration of what the company's doing, and there are past iterations and then there's future iterations that are always coming down the pipeline.
I see. Thank you for explaining.
Yeah. On top of that, you usually have like, let's see, with the seventh wave, it was a total of five different VTubers, so five different sets of personalities, five different sets of lore. It's like basically here is you know here's the show. It's like here's the show, here's the lore around the characters for this show, and enjoy. Um, but with Zion, what ended up happening was from from the retirement that happened. The only reason the company, because most times people were being terminated if they had actually done breach of contract and it was egregious enough, it would be okay. Here's your termination. Get the hell out. Well, with her, it was basically she was getting pushed around, and finally she goes, "This needs to stop. I'm getting out. And if you try to do anything, here's this information I have that can put the company under some deep shit because you guys are not supposed to be doing things this way." To this day, nobody knows what the hell that information is, but the fact that Niji Sanji went ahead and settled out of court and basically let her graduate says a lot.
That it does, especially concerning some of the
So
stuff out about them.
yeah. So then, that's 2022. Fast forward to 2023, when that happens. Then going into the end of 2023, you have mind you, by this point, it's been minor skirmishes here and there where people that have talked about the company or mentioned talents or even so much as use the image of one of their talents in a thumbnail, for example. The big example that sticks out to my head is when Things VTubers Say had, I think it was the VTuber by the name of, uh, Hold on, I'm drawing a blank. I gotta look up their name real quick.
No problem, man. Takes as long as you need.
Because I'm thinking Remu Endo, but it's not Remu. It's a different one.
That name sounds familiar.
Let's see. Give me one quick second. I can find it.
No problem, dude.
Uh,
For those of you guys unaware, by the way, things VTubers say is basically what it sounds like. It's just out of context, funny clips of VTubers.
well, yeah, but then it's also like it's like out of context clips, but then it's also the Enna Alouette. That was their name. Yeah. So things VTubers say at the time it started as that, but then as time progressed, they actually are now one of the go-to channels for basically news coverage of the VTubers scene as a whole.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome. Um, so you've got False ID is the guy that basically hosts the entire thing, but then he's got his team of pretty much journalists, and they like each of the journalists that are part of things VTubers say have their models as well. The really cool thing about it is that they once they got more serious and started covering more of what was going on the back end of things. When of course they started covering what was going on with Niji Sanji, they ended up showcasing Enna Alouette's face, at least the face of her model, on the show. That video got taken down within, I think it was within. Oh, and they got a community guideline strike, which was
Oh,
uncalled for.
yeah.
Yeah, that's where the shit storm starts to build up. It's like that right there made waves, and everybody was looking at Niji Sanji like, "Yo, what the fuck's wrong with you?" As time progressed, TVS managed to get the community guideline strike remanded, and they managed to get the video put back up. And instead of the thumbnail being Enna Alouette's face, it was the thumbnail style that they're using now, where it's the host of TVS is the thumbnail, or one of the journalist members is the thumbnail.
Okay.
But the thing is that people started noticing as time progressed, there was a pattern where Niji Sanji was using very broad strokes legal definitions to take down videos.
That doesn't sound familiar at all. Not
Yeah,
working for the companies.
yeah, even if it was free use, doesn't matter because they were citing Japanese law, and because I guess if you're a company that's doing news based out of what I'm assuming is based out of the U.S., but then a company tries to copyright strike you and they're based in Japan and they're trying to use Japanese law, okay, sure. But at the same time, YouTube is not, you know, they're not Japanese based, they're US based, but they're kowtowing to the Japanese law. And that's also because was it Japan's rule set is completely different as far as law is concerned, and it's fucking complicated, way more complicated than US law from what I'm told. Um, but then YouTube itself does not want to get involved, so they'll go ahead and just streamline the copyright system for that because they don't want to deal with the legal headache of having to balance both law books at the same time to figure out what the hell just happened. With that being said, you start to see a pattern progress throughout 2023 and going into some of 2022 where Niji Sanji is using legal terminology to justify why they're taking things down, but they're not citing super specific, they're just not citing specific events. They're just saying, oh, in the case of Zion Lamza, it was you did possible third party copyright infringement, or oh, you did crude humor that breaches our contract, or hey, you weren't supposed to say something like that because you did not have copyright permissions to be mentioning something like that. In the case of, I think it was Nuxtaku talking to, um, Ike Evelyn, I think. I
Who?
forget. This is a different VTuber from the same company. His name is Ike Evelyn.
Okay, no problem. You would cut out there for a second, so I
Yeah.
heard you correctly.
So I think what was going on is it was an authorized collaboration that then got taken down sometime later because Pokemon was name dropped.
Ooh. Uh-huh.
Yes. So Niji Sanji immediately went into damage control mode and took out the video saying, "Hey, you were not supposed to do that. You were not authorized to be name dropping uh, IP that you don't have copyright permissions to be name dropping like that. We're trying to avoid getting sued." At the time, no one thought anything of it. Nuxtaku, however, called that shit out the way he saw it. That's bullshit. No one's gonna fucking sue you for doing a name drop. You're overreacting. But then, as time progresses, you start seeing a pattern. It's happening more and more. And then it culminates with uh, the information coming to light that Niji Sanji had basically been for the past 4-ish years either is completely mismanaging a bunch of things that ended up having to get shut down, like the Indonesia branch. I think the Chinese branch also had to get shut down, or they might still be around. I actually don't know. Um, on top of that, they're citing legal terminology. They're citing copyright infringement, contract breaches. They're citing. They're citing. One of them was um, possible leaking of company information or company assets, which is highly fucking illegal. I understand that. But then you find that it's like, oh yeah, no, it's just this one little tidbit of information concerning a concert that was going to happen, but then got canceled. It's just like, bro, you canceled the concert. Why are you getting all uppity all of a sudden?
A lot of companies, even though, like from my understanding, even though things get canceled, still keep that shit under NDA and whatnot, even well
Oh
after the
yeah,
fact,
definitely.
just so that way, if they do decide to revisit it, they have that all covered. No one's just gonna leak it.
Yeah, and I'm subject to an NDA like that, and that's just because of the nature of the things I was building when I went under that NDA. And even though I don't work for said company anymore, I literally cannot talk about it out of just concern that I'll have some men in black visiting my house going, "Hey man, you weren't supposed to be saying shit."
Speaking of Men in Black, I actually somehow managed to befriend a CIA agent pretty recently.
Nice, man.
Yeah, nice enough, feller.
Yeah, just watch out for when he starts glowing.
Ha! No kidding. It glows
Uh.
in the fucking dark!
It's like, damn, I could have sworn I turned the lights off. Oh,
Yep.
bro, why are you shining? Um, so let's see. So going into from Zion Lamsa's termination and then some other things that happened from there where people are constantly being slapped around, either concerts are being set up or contests are being set up, but then they're getting shut down 24 hours later or sometime later. Or heck, with the there was this big Niji Sanji concert that was supposed to happen between all the major talents within the company, like literally 3 days before it's time, or I think 24 hours before they have to start the concert. Concerts get shut down, tickets get refunded, the entire venue gets torn down, um, and they just I don't remember exactly what the reasoning was. I think it's either that they overbooked or something, or just they just decided, no, pull the plug. We're not doing this.
Yeah.
Even though they had everything ready, all the talents had been practicing and training themselves to be able to pull off the concert correctly without any hitches in performance. And no, it just completely falls apart. So from there, you end up having a situation where you have Selen Tatsuki, who is doing constantly doing commissions, is doing trying to do contests, and the contests are usually getting the plug pulled on them without even citing reasons as to why. It's just, hey, this isn't what we're gonna do right now. We're gonna go in a different direction. When it comes to art contests, Uh, People didn't get paid, so she had to go ahead and pay out of her own pocket to get stuff rolling. When it came to commissions, she couldn't get authorization for company funds to be allocated to the commission, so she would have to go ahead and make sure that these artists got paid anyway. It was a whole rigmarole. And it just kept building up until finally you get to Christmas. There's this big teaser for a music video called Last Cup of Coffee. And she did a cover. She got all the permissions that she needed for as far as avoiding copyright infringement, and she even got written consent from the creator of the song. Did the cover, posted up I think within like 3 or 4 hours, the video gets taken down. She goes ahead on Twitter, says, "Hey, yeah, company pulled the plug on this. Go ahead and start re-upload as much as you can. Spread this thing throughout the internet. I don't care. They're not allowed to do this. They didn't even fund the dang thing." Because, yeah, at the end of the day, this entire project was crowdfunded. Since the company didn't want to allocate funds to it, and they never signed off on anything claiming that the cover was going to be their IP, that it was basically a crowdfunded project. Well, yes and no, because the contract that Selen Tatsuki's under basically says anything that she creates or that she commissions is company is company property.
That was a shit show.
Excuse me. Yeah. So what ends up happening? She ends up having to pay $15,000 out of pocket to fund this project. It gets its plug pulled. And overall, she goes radio silent after the fact through the entire month of January. Just the last thing anyone hears about her is, "Hey, go ahead and start re-uploading this thing. We're not going to let this stand." Come to the start of February, last week of January, she makes a post that says, "Hey, I'm doing all right, just recovering from an attempt to commit self-deletus." Excuse me. Wow, my freaking throat's on fire for some reason.
I get it.
Oh no, my throat's on fire also. Like I've got this weird tickle in my throat that's been bothering me for the last week.
It's going around, unfortunately. I had the same thing.
Yeah, it is. So, as the week progresses, you come to find out from third-party sources and from even emergency contacts that are close to Selen Tatsuki that she had indeed been admitted for attempted self-deletus. Just because the environment that she was in with the company was just becoming way too much for her, and this last event was basically the straw that broke the camel's back, and she couldn't take it anymore. On top of that, what made the entire situation worse is that she comes out of the facility that she's been getting treatment from, goes home, tries to recuperate so that she can get back on the grind. Wakes up one morning, gets a bunch of messages from people saying, "Hey, check this out. What's going on? You've been fired."
Oh, damn.
Company didn't contact her. Nobody told her anything. She just ends up finding out that she's been graduated, or was it terminated? She'd been basically fired.
See, I'd only cut as far as the attempted game end, so to speak. I hadn't heard about the being fired.
Yeah, so yeah, it was termination. So she ends up finding out from the company Twitter that's putting out a general notice that, "Hey, yeah, this talent's been terminated." And on top of that, you come to find out that the post where she said, "Hey guys, I'm okay, I'm just recovering from an attempt," she didn't post that.
Oh no.
Yeah. She goes on her old account, which is now Doki Bird, and basically puts out a post saying, "I will not be silent anymore." After basically waiting a week to figure out what's going on, she lawyers up, figures out where she can go from there, and then proceeds to start barraging because now she has to explain herself. She manages to, within legal parameters, explain the situation, which then makes Niji Sanji look like they'd basically gone rogue, to say the least, and were going out of their way to try and, like, everything that had happened, they were basically trying to bully her out of the position she was in. Granted, Selen Tatsuki at the time could be considered the golden goose of the company. She was making them money. And that's without going into the fact that this company, uh, what is it? This company doesn't allow for allocation of funds for most projects. Everything is self-funded. Everything is self-provided. The company is not giving you anything. They're not giving you sponsorships. If you make a merch sale, cool. The most you're getting from those profits is 2%. The company gets everything else. Um, what else? From what anyone was saying, if you wanted to make money, the best way to do it was to make sure that you made a fuck ton of sales off the voice packages, where you were basically just buying like little pre-recorded audio lines from the talents.
Wow.
Yeah, it was fucked, dude. Um, and then from what I think, it was also Ike Evelyn that accidentally let it slip that the company was barely paying them anything as far as merch sales were concerned.
I bet that pissed him off.
Yeah, yeah, he got suspended for like a week for that, for saying that, because someone went, "Wow, you must be making so much money with all those sales," and he just lets it slip. Man, I ain't got shit.
Yeah, damn.
I'm like, fuck. Dude's like, I'm broke. I ain't got shit. Dude's only let me keep 2%.
That's insane.
I'm like, oh fuck! I just punched my camera on accident. Whoops.
I mean, I don't blame you, but I mean, save the violence for the ring, man.
Well,
For your
no,
next
no, no.
show.
It was no, it wasn't intentional because I was trying to stretch my arm and I just accidentally sent it.
Ah, yes, the accidental.
Full send. Let's go. There we go. I'll just have it pinned up on the printer now. Um. So yeah, that's basically what's going on with that. Um. So you just ends up seeing the trail where it's like fuck up after, well, not really fuck ups on the companies, and the company is doing this because they're literally letting the money do the talking. They're being greedy as hell every step of the way. um so with Doki Bird, aka Selen Tatsuki, she's using her old account to basically air her grievances, and company tries to basically come out and be like, nah, that's not at all what's going on, and tries to release an official statement to try and character assassinate Selen Tatsuki. But at this point, however, they're banking on the fact that, one, the fans are just going to defend them no matter what. Two, the actual the fans of the corporation are going to take their word over a talent's word. And three, no one's going to notice the dumpster fire that's going on in the back while this statement is going on,
Much
which
like
is the fact.
Police Squad. Nothing to see here.
Pretty much, you've got Selen Tatsuki being terminated. You've got what was it? You got there was, I think around that time, a bunch of other talents also ended up graduating at the same time. One of them was I'm trying to find the page where the list of talents are so I can read it out. Here, let's see. I'll just do a quick Google search.
No problem. This company, huh?
Yeah, no, it is fucked. Oh, thank you, Dexerto. These guys got all the info I need.
Fucking Dexerto, man.
They're on it. Okay, here we go. So, yep, the debut time for the Niji EN members was May 16th of 2021. And here we go. Yep. So, the, I think, what was it? Pomu Rain Puff from Lazulite, which I think was Gen 1. Yeah, this is Gen 1. These are the OG members. So it's called Lazulite. It was made up of Illyra Pandora, Fanana Ryugu, and Pomu Rain Puff. Out of those three, Pomu Rain Puff graduated at the very ass end of January. Then you've got Selen Tatsuki, who is basically Gen 2. She gets railroaded. But from there, you've also got, I think in December or November of right before the new year, Nina Kosaka also leaves. And she goes on to join up with Vishojo as Matara Khan. And let's see, then there's, I don't remember what time Mr. Ria's graduated, but yeah, you had a bunch of people like around the months of October, November, December, and January. People were just fucking dropping, like it was going out of style.
Well, hey, suppose you don't have to go to college if you graduate from Niji Sanji.
You would think that. But then like you come to find out that the contract that these guys are under, it's alleged that the contract basically says, what was the dude from Mortal Kombat? Your soul is mine.
Fun.
That's basically your contract. um so from there, they were basically banking on nobody noticing the dumpster fire that was going on behind them, where it's like shit's basically on fire. Shit's fucked, bro. And then just banking on company reputation, that people were going to just believe them at face value, not look in between the lines.
That
Where they
typically
fucked
works
up
well.
was, yeah, where they had fucked up was in the middle of Doki's first stream. She was going ahead and streaming Neopets at the same time. 20 minutes into the stream, you come to find out that someone goes into Doki Bird's chat and goes, "Hey, um, fuckers are going ahead and doing a stream the same time you went live, and they're all shitting on you." And this is after the company had released an official statement saying that no, Doki Bird had fucked up. They had not asked for permissions. They didn't even ask for the company to fund the project, et cetera, ad nauseum, coming up with all these just back ass words, um, explanations for why their hands are clean of the situation and why this is justified, and just trying to have Doki Bird painted in the darkest of lights as possible. What ends up happening, though, is that then you have the talents from Niji Sanji, Elira Pandora, Vox Akuma, and I forget who the third person was, where they basically explain, hey, this was our experience with this talent, this is what we know is going on. And then you come to find out that they were told, the company showed us these documents that the lawyer had sent in.
Oh no.
Bruh. Huh?
That's.
I,
Oh, fuck.
I'm not a lawyer, but last I checked, there are some rules when it comes to chain of custody for stuff like this.
Well, one or two, just a couple of minor, like, if, ands, couple of
Yeah.
things in the margin.
One of them is, hey, these contracts are eyes only to whom it's assigned to. You don't just go handing this out to anyone, because now you opened yourself up for a lawsuit.
Yep.
So so immediately you have people taking all the, essentially what's now happened is, because the talents decided to talk about this is now their statements. So they start immediately, people are coming out of the woodwork and just tearing those statements apart and debunking things left, right, and center. Same goes with the company statement, debunking things left, right, and center. You start finding more and more of what's actually going on. Where what was it? Basically, Nuxtaku was right. The company is as shitty as it gets, because some people were trying to defend the talent, saying, "Oh, they were held at gunpoint to do this. They had to, or they were going to lose their jobs." It's like, bro, if you're at the point where you got to throw your ex teammate under the bus to save your own skin, something's gone horribly wrong, and you need to cut your losses and get the hell out of there. It's like I understand that this is probably your livelihood,
But if that's your
but
livelihood, then your life is already basically in tatters.
yeah, you're hanging on by a thread. You might as well just cut the thread and see if you can fly,
Mm-hmm.
because it's just you're basically just you're here until you're no longer useful. Um, what ends up happening is essentially Doki saying, "Okay, cool. This is all I'm going to say on it, and then we're going radio silent on this subject because now we have to figure out what the hell is going on." She, 20 minutes into her own stream, has to shut down her stream, call up her lawyer outside of business hours because they have to do an emergency investigation to find out what the hell just happened. Because Niji Sanji, if it's proven that they had given these documents out, not only did they just hand out documents to people that it wasn't supposed to go to, they handed out private information on who Doki is, and on top of that, possibly um what was it? Possibly leaked financial information that no one's supposed to know about except for the legal team and Doki Bird.
Yep.
Luckily, they were able to confirm that no legal information was leaked. The only thing that was leaked was the information concerning her being admitted medically for attempted self delete, and the fact that um and the fact that Doki had written a statement saying that the company's working environment was pretty shitty. However, you have a bunch of people that come out of the woodwork. One of them being a legal mindset, a Florida-based lawyer who used to do corporate consulting. Even he goes ahead and says, "Y'all need to shut the fuck up because you're now digging yourselves into a hole, and you're just if they decide to go to open lawsuit, you're in trouble." And he goes ahead and goes for the jugular by saying, "Sure, Japan doesn't have privacy laws concerning identifying information, except Selen Tatsuki is not a Japanese citizen. They're a Canadian citizen." And he immediately pulls up the law that's called PIPEDA, which is a privacy protection act that says you cannot leak any information regarding a Canadian citizen. And it doesn't stop at just Canada. That is worldwide.
Okay.
Yeah. And Niji Sanji just stepped on the landmine big time.
Couldn't happen to a better set of folk.
Yeah. So now, for the past, I want to say for the past month, Doki went radio silent on that because she literally has to. She can't afford to say anything without it being a repercussion down the line. The problem is, Niji Sanji is going out of its way to do damage control, but it's just making everything worse. The more they talk, the more they do. It's basically making their legal team have a harder time trying to rein in all the damage, to where for the past month, consistent day by day, the stock has been dropping to where now I think they've dropped. Let's hold on, let me pull up their stock price real quick.
Is that why that fucking comic came out?
Yes, that's why the Floor comic came out, and that's also why Floor ended up starting the Sox VTubing agency, because he's basically saying, "I'm gonna show y'all how it's done."
Like I said, my new Oshi, Pinocchio with tits.
Let's see. Market summary. Any Color Incorporated. Currently $21.49 a share as of February 23.
Damn.
Let's go back 1 month. Um oh wait, why isn't Google showing me the stock chart here? Market. Okay, here we go. Market summary. Okay, fuck it. Damn it, Google, you screwed me over for the last time. Here you go. Market watch. Uh, no, I don't want to subscribe. Give me a second. I'm trying to do something. Go back 1 month. They started out the 5th of February at 3,820 yen.
That's what, $38 give or take?
Yeah. At their lowest, which was the 22nd, 3,040.
Damn,
They bled cash.
that is insane.
And that's per share. So, mind you, they've managed to recover a little to where I think in the 29th, yeah, it says right here the 29th, they were at 3,250. But as of today, they're back down 3,190. So they're hemorrhaging.
Again, good.
And as of right now, at this moment, they are at 3,190, and at the lowest for the day, they were at 3,175. So yeah, it's been rough. This is a volatile stock as of February.
I wouldn't be surprised to see people start dumping the stocks, especially once they start seeing the winds of change start coming because of the
I mean,
consequences.
anyone right now, the moment this shit happened, anyone that bought stock into Hololive basically shorted any color.
Aha.
Yeah, because so CoverCore is the parent company for Hololive. When it comes to Niji Sanji, their parent company is Anycolor. So with Anycolor stock tanking the way it is, if you went into the Nikkei index and you ended up buying CoverCore, you made bank in the past month. Granted, oh, that's pretty insensitive. You can't. Well, that's the economy for you.
Exactly.
Whoever the fuck is hemorrhaging cash, that cash is going to someone else.
That's just the way the world works, even.
Unfortunately, it's not cool, but it's a cutthroat system.
Yep.
Because the money's got to keep moving. If it doesn't, shit's gone horribly wrong. So now you've also had speeding up to the events in the last month. You had a influencer by the name of 39 Daff who also came out and was trying to do damage control and trying to uh, also talk shit, saying that no, I want to see evidence. This is on Dokibird to show evidence. Not really. She doesn't have to say shit because at the end of the day, she what was it? If from the list of comments that 39 Daff was doing, mind you, 39 Daff was not streaming. They were just talking into their own Twitch chat. You come to find out that this person is trying to basically say that the burden of proof is on Dokibird and they have to start posting receipts.
So what skeletons were in 39 Daft's closet?
You come to find out that 39 Daff is a close friend of a former, recently graduated member of Niji Sanji called, if I can just remember the dude's name. Give me one quick second to pull up his name. Let's see, was it? Pulling up a page right now. Nope, not that one. Where's that blue-haired dude? Uh, so many names.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. Oh, there it is, Uki Violetta. No, that's not Uki Violetta. No, fuck that. Not him. That dude's also got his own little mini iceberg because he's made himself a dumbass. He's made himself look like a fool over the last week.
I wish I could say I was surprised, but I mean, at this point, it's more throw a rock, hit a dumbass.
Well, it's just like um it's the funny thing of wasn't so I'm gonna just go ahead and say this now. Nux Taku was right because it looks like it's not just the company. A bunch of the talents are also being just as they have just as many skeletons in the closet, which is sad because when I used to watch these guys, I thought they were pretty cool.
The only like VTubers I used to watch, one was Snuffy, used to be even in our Discord for a bit. She,
Snuffy's still doing stuff. They're pretty cool.
I just don't really have the time to just sit down and watch Twitch stuff anymore.
Yeah, I understand. I'm
Like,
the
and I
same
feel
way.
bad because like I got a South African friend. He doesn't VTube, but like I used to be pretty active, but then just I really can't anymore. Like I'm pretty semi-active on Twitter, but even that I don't even really touch too much anymore because I just can't. But like going back to VTubers, like there was Snuffy. At one point, I think I watched well, it was like Wolfie or something like that.
Cinder?
No, it was a I think maybe a mouse or something. I was like some sort of female shaped person in voice and
Mousy?
model.
They were Iron Mouse?
Maybe that sounds about right.
Uh what was it? Pink, really squeaky voice.
Maybe this was like 2, 3 years ago, back when
Okay.
I was in a whole different mental state. And then there was like a couple of like small like local grown, so to speak, VTubers that were indie at the time. One was like White Mage Tolly. I don't know if she does stuff anymore. There's like one or two others.
Oh shit, I didn't even know this person was friends with Hassan.
Oh, and also
There's
Skookum
another
EA.
iceberg for you. I'm trying to find the article. Maybe TVS has something posted.
No problem. There was also the other one I watched, like, because like I still occasionally watch Skookum because she also does stuff in VR chat. Like I'll occasionally um watch one called Autumn Murrah.
Yeah.
She's rather indie, but she's good, folks. Ran into her back when I started back up doing online content back in 21.
Damn.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm trying to find. The problem is, it's like it's a whole deal to find this info because the of course they can't post. They used to do thumbnails about who it is they were talking about. They can't do that now. Ever since the one time that they ended up posting information on or they ended up using, was it an Alouette as a thumbnail. That's where that's where things went south for the company. Hey, hold on.
No problem. Do take as long as you need. I'll just go, I guess, into a personal anecdote. Uh, Mud. We all know it. We all hate it. And unfortunately, it is that season. And with that season comes, unfortunately, folks like me trying to do shit like moving shelves and landing on our asses. Now, thankfully, I didn't land on my ass, but this morning, this morning, I ended up dinging my knee pretty good coming out of the camper because of some mud. So that hurt like hell, and I'm not sure if you guys can see it too well if I put it up here, but it is kind of bruised to shit. Which is, just fun. And I'm not sure what cracked, like if it was the camper or if it was my knee, but either way, that is just absolutely lovely, and that has been hurting all day today. Really unrelated to everything, but gotta fill up the space. You good, Kamoku?
Yeah, I'm still trying to find it because this is damn son. Why is it so hard to find this info?
Maybe Niji's trying to get that shit hidden away again?
Probably. It wouldn't surprise me because that's exactly what happened with Zion.
Speaking of, are we gonna go back into talking about her? Like, don't. Did you really talk too much about her? No.
Oh, Adoki Bird. Yeah, the new streams, bro. What was it? Actually, that's pretty cool because so going ahead and talking about this now. I think the most insane fucking thing that could have happened is the fact that in literally just a month, Doki Bird cleared 500,000 subscribers,
Very nice.
and then overtook the top streamer in Niji Sanji for subscribers.
That's
What
awesome.
was it? They were at, I think, what was it? 565,000 for Illyria Pandora, and then when it came to Doki Bird at the day that it was announced, it was like 587,000. Like, holy shit.
That's awesome.
In 1 month. So yeah, it was insane because you had people coming out of the woodwork to support her. Um, let's see. Trying to. Why is it so hard to find this info? Because yeah, it's almost like there's just rate. Like it's just it's a blackout.
Would- Wouldn't shock me, especially with some of the stuff you've already said so far.
Yeah, it sucks because like I don't watch enough of the Nijisanji talent, so I don't know all their names.
I don't watch Niji stuff at all. Like even
That's
without
like
the whole like just not being really on the, on Twitch or any of that. Just I don't know. Like I just VTubing. Like I'll try to occasionally do it. Like a lot of that just kind of lost its luster, especially after all the Niji stuff just came out.
yeah. I'm trying to. Oh, I think it's probably because this person's about to graduate. They haven't graduated yet. Um, let's see. Well, there's also a list of members that have graduated, so I could probably take a look at that. Oh wait, this is the list I was just looking at. I'm fucking retarded.
Yeah, we've all been there.
Is it? Does I think I remember the name? Yes, there we go. Kyo Kaneko. This, so you come to find out that going back to what I was talking about with 39 DAF, you come to find out uh, 39 DAF is actually friends with Kyo Kaneko and has some ties to Niji Sanji on the back end.
Wow,
You
what a
wouldn't know
shocking but
about
inevitable
that
twist.
unless you looked for it because the first explosion of drama on the scene from Niji Sanji, 39 DAF comes out of the woodwork to defend them. When something happened to 39 DAF, Niji Sanji actually comes out of the woodwork to defend them. No one fucking talked about it until now when they're noticing, hey, that shit's happening again. Come to find out, 39 DAF has ties to Niji Sanji. They're not solid, but it's enough to be like, hey, wait a minute.
Something ain't right here, huh?
Yeah. On top of that, Kyo Kaneko is also graduating. I think they're graduating in middle of March for this month.
Ah, I see.
So you're seeing like just people are jumping ship. And then with Pomu Rainpuff, the reason she graduated is because anytime she chalked up an idea or a project that she wanted to work on, company shut her down on it. Just straight up would not authorize anything.
It is the year of shitty companies, huh? First Niji,
Yes.
now Sweet Baby, which is
Oh yeah,
like just
sweet baby.
recurring and connected. And apparently, come to find out, like some of the folks who were going out of their way to try to dox Brazilians and whatnot, come to
Yeah.
find out, one of the dudes is actually connected to the original fucking Gamergate bullshit back in
Mm-hmm.
2014.
Mm-hmm.
Time is a flat
Connected
fucking circle and everything's interconnected, man.
connected to one of the five journalists that started that entire kit and caboodle.
Yep.
Holy shit! And then, yeah, it's basically kickstarted the it's a school of thought that everything in the indie scene right now is just being orchestrated by the same group of people
Yep. And it would not shock
because
me.
it's shit like that that makes me like I want to do a video game. I want to do like some like animation stuff or at least do like a radio drama,
I mean,
and
if
I'm
you want,
afraid
I
that
could probably
someone's
connect you
gonna
to Screw Tape. I mean, at least
nice.
like get you, like I say connect you to him, but like if you want, I mean, I could at least get you his Discord contact. And you guys could probably at least talk. Like, maybe possibly be like, hey, this is what I want to do. What do I need to know? Because like,
Yeah, yeah, that I actually appreciate that because that would be cool. Because right now I'm still workshopping the world building just because. it's so easy to fuck up multiverse shit.
I mean, even if not that, just figuring out how to like do the coding and whatnot.
Oh yeah, I think I'm gonna start off just to keep it simple. I'm gonna start off as a radio drama
Yeah, I'm
because
not sure
I
about that, but like he'll at least theoretically he should at least be able to help you out with like what you
making it
need to
into a
know.
game.
Yeah,
Yeah, that would actually be cool.
because he worked on some games, and
I might just,
and he
I
also
might
worked with
just.
Xbox for a while doing QA.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah, he was a really cool dude. You've probably seen him, XBL Flynn on Twitter.
No, I'll have to look him up actually, just to see what he's got because that actually sounds pretty chill. If I can get some help like that.
Yeah.
There was what was the name? You ever heard of just going off topic real quick, but you ever heard of My Club Nika?
No.
So this is Klubnika. That's his full name on Steam. If you've ever played Unsorted Horror,
I never even heard
or
of it.
yeah, so it's Unsorted Horror. Then there's another one called Unsorted VHS Tapes, which is basically compilations of like these horror mini games that he did back in the day. His
Okay.
latest game that was all the rage right now is Buckshot Roulette.
Oh, that game. I've heard of that one.
Yeah, yeah. But when you play Unsorted Horror, it looks like the theme for Unsorted Horror is what inspired Buckshot Roulette, and possibly Buckshot Roulette takes place in the same universe as Unsorted Horror,
Interesting.
which is like, oh shit, because there's like all these like little lore implications in Buckshot Roulette that are just, if you didn't know, you wouldn't know what to make of it. But when it comes to playing Unsorted Horror, you start noticing, oh shit, this is actually pretty strange that this all links up.
Yeah, sounds pretty
But
cool.
anyways, that's an iceberg for another day that I can run you through. Um, but with going back to Niji Sanji stuff, um, the latest right now is the fact that you've got more lawyers actually coming out of the woodwork trying to explain to everybody why certain things aren't panning out, because you have one side that wants, both sides want blood right now, big
Shocker
time.
there. It's the internet.
Doki Bird,
Everyone wants blood for everything, even mild
yep, the
inconveniences.
Doki Bird, yeah. So the Doki Bird supporters, they want to see vindication. That they want to see that what is it? They want to see Niji Sanji held to task for what they did to Doki Bird. On top of that, they also want to see basically, just you owe her for, just everything that she had to lose going into this. So then you've got people on the Niji Sanji side of things that are saying, no, this is the company is not at fault for this. They should have known what they were signing up for. Dokeeper should have known what they were signing up for. They should have read their contract, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, trying to basically pull excuses out of their ass for why the company's not at fault. But now they also want, essentially, anyone that's supporting her, anyone that's a fan, anyone that is defending her, to basically be doxxed and made an example of, because you have shat on my favorite company. You must die.
Consumers, spelled with two O's, mind you,
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
shit like that? Never. Must be damning
Quoting,
and why.
quoting, quoting some old Joe Rogan comedy. Buddha be damned, you must die.
Yup.
um, but yeah, the problem is that then you've also got. I'm trying to find the dang headline, because this is insane, because it's not just the fact that you've got um Nux Taku is doing coverage on this. Fucking Charlie from of Moist Critical is also covering this. Mudahar's covering this. It's the explosion happened, but there are now multiple secondary and tertiary explosions that are just it is spreading.
Someone decided to light up a firecracker in the fireworks factory, and it all went up.
I wish it was a fireworks factory. No, this is the oil refinery is going up in flames.
Damn.
Like holy shit! It's why hashtag sink the yacht has become such a prominent hashtag on Twitter.
I don't
Mind
even
you,
look at hashtags, man. Like,
my stupid ass is also using it, but that's just because I've got a bone to pick with those jackasses. But that's beside the point.
if you don't
Um,
mind me asking, assuming you're allowed to, what bone do you have to pick?
well, it's not anything legal or nothing. It's just the fact that time and time again you see the damage they've done to their talents, and mind you, it's like cool. The only thing you're getting is brand representation, but that's it.
That's
If you
shitty.
want to get into this industry, you're literally better off going to a different company if you can get in with them or just being a straight up indie. But that means you also have to self fund. But if you got to choose between self funding and being an indie or self funding and being part of Niji Sanji, I'm gonna be honest with you, I'd rather just be an indie.
Hey, man,
Because
I can offer you $5 and a corn chip.
there you go. We're already ahead one corn chip.
Hell yeah.
But it's even worse when you realize Niji Sanji is just the biggest part of this problem because Wachter is also doing the same thing, but they had it so much worse where they had to completely rebrand and try to rename their company, and that didn't work because people did their homework and figured out that the company was Wachter and brought that out to light. So Wachter is not able to avoid what they did, and they were supposed to be a Japanese Spanish VTubing agency.
What is it with Japanese companies lately coming out and just trying to, like, ruin everything for everyone, it seems like?
Oh yeah, well it's just the oh man, let's see. Going back to a conversation with a teammate of mine when I worked for the shipbuilding company I was a part of. Redacted, but that's beside the point.
Ah,
We
yes,
actually
good
got
old
into
Jeremiah Owatashi's ship company, right?
pretty much. I'm not gonna use the actual name just because reasons, but I got into a conversation with this buddy of mine who actually was he had a good head on his shoulders. The man could tell you what you needed to know when it came to businesses because he had been studying to be a he was studying to be a real estate agent, but they had to run him through an entire business course before he could even try to get his certification for real estate. And we were getting into it. We were talking back and forth about terms of service agreements and legal use rights, all this nonsense that you normally wouldn't care about unless you were trying to do something specific with what you bought. And when it came to um, geez, what was it? When it came to basically the way paperwork is filled out and contract legalese is written out for private companies or private entities, these, if you don't read them closely, can basically choke you out as far as how you can operate.
I'm
On
gonna
top of
guess,
that, say again.
as I'm gonna guess, this loops back saying that a lot of them get choked out.
Yeah, well, it's I noticed a common theme, and I talked to him about it, asking him why the fuck is there such a lack of ethical business practices when it comes to these contracts? If nothing else, these contracts are trying to just make sure that there is no outflow of cash to whoever the employee is, or that there is barely any upward mobility, if at all, for someone to be able to make more money within the company. And this is not just for entertainment, but this is like you know your S your S what was it, your 500 series companies, your Wall Street companies, your mom and pop shop, if it's being propped up by a third party. Unless you're running full independent and funding everything yourself, a lot of these contracts can be written in such a way where if you don't read between the lines and a certain clause is activated by accident, you are now up shit's creek without a paddle.
Very
and
unfortunate.
it's basically like the entire game is rigged to screw you over if you don't have your head on a swivel. To which I asked
Okay.
him, why are ethical business practices not a thing? He went, because there's no money being made in ethical business practices. Why the fuck are you going to waste time trying to do that when the dude next door is screwing over everyone and his own mom and still making bank? Which I'm like, well, that doesn't sound right to me because eventually, no one's going to want to play the game. He's like, well, they don't care. They're going to play the game until the game can't be played no more. But by then, they've already made their bank and they're gone.
Yep. Many such
And that's the
cases.
that's Yep, and that's the issue. You're seeing the symptom, not the cause of what's going on with company like Walker's, like companies like Walker and Nichisanji, where it's lack of ethical business practices. They don't really, well, they have liberty to self-regulate, but their self-regulation can literally be just them putting in a single clause in an NDA that says if you fuck us over, we'll make sure your life is a living hell.
Which is shitty.
But yeah, again, lack of ethical business practices. They're not trying to be, you know, they don't care about trying to be there for their employees. They're just there for themselves, or at least the top management is. And essentially, if you're in the way of someone being able to make money, it's basically painting a bullseye on your back.
Unfortunately. And there's too much of that now.
Yep. But that's why you also got channels like Legal Mindset coming out of the woodwork to explain things to everybody, because when you got two sides like this that both want blood, nobody understands what the hell's going on.
Yep.
So it's basically some things need to be debunked, but some things also need to be explained. All in all, um, it's a shit show. Mostly on, actually not completely on Niji Sanji's side, but now that the entire thing has gone up in flames, everyone else has to look at this and start basically doing the forensics analysis of what the hell caused the explosion.
Makes sense.
And of course, now though, it's 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 getting worse because you've got people that are batting for Niji Sanji trying to put out hit lists, people to harass and go after, people that need to be blocked or have their entire histories looked over to see if you can find any skeletons in their closet. Um, basically going out of, instead of trying to do PR preservation, they're now just trying to cannibalize as much as they can. But it's just accelerating. It's accelerating the downfall of the company.
I mean, at some point, once you cannibalize everything, all that's left is you, right?
Pretty much. Now, yeah, that's pretty much where we are right now because I can't find anything else as far as updates that are concerned.
Well, then I suppose, do you have the time to, I guess, talk about the Sweet Baby shit show going on?
Oh yeah, you can run me through that one because I think you might know more than I do.
Okay, so basically, for the latest controversy, unrelated to Suicide Squad, kill the fucking who gives a
Justice League.
shit. Anyways, well,
Look
before
how they massacred my boy.
yeah, well, like pretty recently, like as of like 2 or 3 days ago, a group on Steam came up, and let me actually pull up the name. Hold on, I'm just pulling that up myself. It's like
Right.
the Steam app is a pain in the ass to navigate through. Yes,
Yeah, they need to update it.
the group is called Sweet Baby Inc. Detected, and
Oh, I heard about these guys. Yeah.
yeah, it's ran by a Brazilian and one of the dude's friends, I guess.
Oh hell, dude, I love the Brazilians. They're fucking based. They don't give a fuck who it is. They're gonna talk shit about you if you did something stupid.
Exactly, and the person opened up a group, and like their self admitted thing is a tracker for games involved with Sweet Baby, and the games
Yeah.
so far. Hold on, let me just click on their reviews.
Mm-hmm.
would be Neo Cab, Assassin's Creed Valhalla,
Oh fuck.
Afterlove, Gotham Knights, South of
Right.
Midnight,
Uh-huh.
Kingdom 80s, I think is what that says.
Kingdom 80s?
Shadow Gambit: The Cursed Land, Dungeons and Dragons: Dark Alliance,
Oh wow.
Hyper Light Breaker, Breeze.
Seriously?
Yeah, apparently.
Isn't that like a rhythm game? Hold on a second.
I'm
Now
just
I gotta pull up Steam because I could have sworn I think that was actually one of the games on my wish list.
yeah, Breeze in the Clouds, not Breeze, sorry. Yeah. Goodbye Volcano High, Usual June, um, Battle Shapers, Sable, and then everyone's favorite Suicide Squad game. And yeah,
Wow, this game looks so good though. Yeah, I saw it wasn't on my wish. I saw a commercial for this a while back.
supposedly they also did stuff on Starfield, but that review got removed, so I guess maybe not. Who fucking knows?
It might have been cleared. That if you can prove that it wasn't them, then they got to remove it by all intents and purposes.
Yeah, but like
So,
not
who
too
knows,
long
really?
after the Steam group got founded, a certain Sweet Baby employee decided to engage in a little bit of targeted harassment,
I think I
and
saw that.
yeah, and tried to get everyone to mass report the group, which, as you could tell, considering the fact I still have it in my Steam groups, did not succeed.
Nah,
And
I wanted to.
everyone is coming out of the woodwork on the side of the Brazilian, including, I'd like to note, notoriously unfavorable types like actual communists being against Sweet Baby, actual socialists, and like
Holy shit!
normal mentally competent people, and everything else. And
How do
it's,
you fuck up so bad that all the people that hate each other do the universal team up to specifically come and curb stomp you?
yeah, like I was seeing that shit, and it's like, holy shit, the mentally ill and the mentally stable are going together? Holy shit. Which I know that's
And
gonna catch me some flack, but.
vaya con Dios.
Exactly, exactly. But,
About to pull the Honduran out of me. I gotta start crossing myself and praying that you survive
oh yeah,
somehow.
just
Cause
the
fuck.
Catholic. Yep. Hey man, all I'm saying is like that. It really says something that everyone is going like, all right, fuck Sweet Baby. Like, I've literally seen like everything from even like the deepest, darkest corners of the internet, like worse than the Chans, including 8chan, like
Jesus.
all fucking coming like against Sweet Baby. Like
Wow, the fuckers from Cloudflare came out of the woodwork. All right.
yeah, yeah. Like I was just looking, like, because I'll occasionally go into the group page and just see some of the forum discussion and whatnot. Like I even actually friended the guy who runs the group. Real lovely guy, genuinely.
Gotcha, gotcha.
But like it really says something about how badly Sweet Baby fucked up. And apparently there was actually another guy who came in and tried doing targeted harassment too against the group. Also a Sweet Baby employee. She kind of disappeared. Who knows what the hell that's about? Like it also.
Oh shit, that reminds me. Hold on, real quick. Not to cut you off, but
That's fine.
there was there was actually some info or there was a video that a buddy of mine because I just put two and two together. You said time is a flat circle. There was a buddy of mine who fucking sent me a YouTube link and he had the same comment, time is a flat circle.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, what the fuck? I just got to look through my YouTube history real quick to find it, but um it was a channel that was covering the crap with Sweet Baby Inc. I didn't think anything of it until I realized that there was a little bit of a controversy in the back end. Uh, Here we go. Felix Lego Butts Kramer's Old Deep Lore from 2014.
Yep. Like you're probably
I
talking
will.
about the same one I saw quite a bit of comments about earlier today.
Yeah, Demonetized is the content creator.
No, I'm talking like actual like this was all over Twitter for a little bit, like
Oh
about
shit.
12 hours ago, give or take.
Hey, I see you got a mystery chocolate grab bag review.
Yeah, I just like had random chocolates that just got put in a bag. So I was like, all right, let's see.
It's like I'm seeing hey, you're recommended. Oh, hey, look, it's sentient.
Hey, see, someone's looking out for me.
Oh, let's see real quick here. I'll go ahead and post it in the I'll put it in the podcast ideas for you.
No problem. I'll get it. I guess linked in my description since we talked
Yeah.
about that.
It's just it's so fucked up. Yeah, but keep going, keep going. I just wanted to get that out the way because I just realized I put two and two together for it.
Yeah, like it's crazy. Like it was like Sweet Baby could have possibly faded into obscurity, still doing their shitty stuff. Had Felix Lego Butt, and then whatever that other dude whose name I do not recall, and it's gonna screw me for the rest of the night. Like, had they not just came out of the woodwork and been like, yeah, fuck this Brazilian in particular and his group. And I'm just gonna point out, like, for those of you guys who are coming in just calling me an asshole, I'm just gonna point out these guys claim to be about diversity and inclusion, and yet they're targeting the minority. Not to boil it down to like, oh, dude's a minority, but just to kind of dumb things down a bit for folks who are kind.
Dude lives in Brazil. He doesn't even speak English, and he in his
Actually, he
Portuguese
does
he
speak
figured out.
like pretty good English. Like his English
Oh
is
shit.
better than
Okay.
mine.
Wow.
Yeah, no, dude's really eloquent.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, that goes to show how much I know because I had a passing glance and I'm thinking, wow, what the fuck, guys?
Yeah, no,
I wanted
dude's
to,
like extreme. Oh, sorry, you first.
no, I was just gonna say it's like I just like this past 2 months has been interesting because I'll pop open the X feed, look through it, and realize, wow, this is a target rich environment. I could pick a fight with literally everybody right now, and I just don't. The only reason I've picked a fight with Niji Sanji is because they legitimately fucked up because they've been screwing over everybody, and I think it's insane that they managed to get three people in their talent group to defend the company, but then you come to find out these fuckers are just as bad as the company itself. They're actually the reason why the company's in hot shit all of a sudden.
Must be a day ending in Y.
Pretty much. And it's just like, oh, there's so many people you could pick a fight with. Like, and then there's the Sweet Baby group, and it's just like, shit, don't do it.
Yeah. I mean,
Let's
shit, you
just watch the
saw,
fire.
like, not to be very specific, but I mean, you probably saw the fight I picked with a certain dude's audience pretty recently.
Yeah.
Because it was like fucking pulling the Dr. Pizza argument. And it's like, okay, buddy, what skeletons do you have in your closet? Oh, yeah, you made an animation about. That was very clearly a sexualized. And this actually was, like, based off of a real adult, a real child, and then the audience salivating. Not to name names, but you know exactly who I'm talking about and what the animation was.
Yeah,
And it's
man.
like, okay, so the audience is fine with it because they see it as a joke, but stuff that's like very clearly not anything like that and is somehow illegal content.
Oh,
Make it
it,
make
no, no,
sense.
it's it's a complicated mess and just it's like, dude, just shut up and let things handle themselves. But no, he decided to go ahead and talk about it. I'm just like, fine. But just realize that no matter what you say, someone's going to take it the wrong way, or you're going to say the wrong piece of information that had nothing to do with it, and now everybody's going to want to come for your jugular.
Yeah, maybe I wouldn't have said
It's,
anything, but like the dude even said some pieces that were just flat out misinformation. Even
oh, yeah.
and it was just like,
Yeah,
dude.
it's fucking wild because I'm like, man, I'm a fan of this guy. What the
So,
fuck?
like, so was I. I was really heavy into his content. And then it was just like, I see that, and it's like, alright, when's the Skeletons coming out? 2, 3 months from now?
Yeah, you're gonna see it. Just stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. But again, not naming names here.
Oh, it's fine. Just anyone that's paying close attention knows what's being talked about. And if at some point, how come you didn't say the guy's name? Because I'm not here to start that dumpster fire.
And
Chill the
even
fuck
if
out. It'll
not
start
that,
itself.
Like, even if not that, I'm not opening myself up to any possible legal battles.
Exactly.
Because I know how you online people are. I've been doxxed a couple of times. I know motherfuckers are petty enough to start shit.
Oh, that's one of those where it's like I don't like so I don't like that shit, but at the same time, if it did happen to me, cool. Good luck getting to where I am. I hope you don't mind wading through a swamp because I'm in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Mm-hmm. Or in my
Like it's
case, it's like, hope you don't mind all the neighbors who are extremely well armed, more than willing
yeah.
to go to bat for us. Oh, and also the multiple, like many, like issues that would come up before you even got to the driveway.
Oh yeah. No,
And it's
the
also a
funniest
lobster fishing community, so if you pull shit, good luck, lobster bait.
Yeah. No, that's one of those where I'm constantly having to remind myself, yes, the bushes are moving, but that's because there's a good deer nearby that's just been being tracked for the last 2 days.
Yep.
Like the fact that I could probably step outside the house right now and listen out to see if my neighbor's dogs are barking. That's how I know if they actually found something good.
See, unfortunately, we're not quite that rural, despite still being sub 1K populace. But unfortunately, we do still get the yap dogs.
Yeah. Granted, though, I got a buddy of mine who like he lives way further up into the swamp, and he's like, "How the fuck do you not have internet?" I'm like, "What the fuck is this shit?"
Yup.
It's like I am not like I am moderately deep into the swamp, and I don't get internet. But this dude's in the ass end of the swamp, and he's like, "Yeah, no, I got internet."
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
I'm just like, "What the fuck?"
I guess let's talk. I guess if we're going on this tack, then let's talk about shitty internet service providers. Like
Oh, geez, my first one is HughesNet. I think I've already mentioned that one. That was
fucking
fucking dog shit.
HughesNet. That it really is dog shit. Like I got Spectrum, but like I said, I filed an FCC complaint because I've had enough of their shit. Like I've been
Yeah.
in a battle with these guys just about since about 2000, like 2021 or so, and like I could stream for a while, which was nice, but like I said, since January 2nd, I cannot stream, and
Yeah.
like even since 2021, the internet speeds have been very highly inconsistent. I don't get anywhere near my advertised speeds. Because, like, especially considering there's
Yeah,
only,
at that point, that's false
yeah,
advertising.
like,
You gotta hit them with it.
yeah, like, I get supposedly 500 down, I think it's like 25 or so up.
Yep.
But, like, if I was actually getting these speeds, like, let me just tell you what devices I run on a daily basis on the internet. One computer, maybe two, if I'm doing some research about something. Two smartphones, one of which is mine, one of which is not. A tablet, and then a smart TV, which is only used for the regular HDMI function. That's
Right.
it. And yet, I will get massive buffering at times trying to watch something on any streaming service, and load times into websites are just abysmal most of the time. And,
Jeez,
and I'm
man.
really supposed to believe I'm getting even 100 down?
Yeah, it's complete dog shit. And
Yeah.
the thing is that what nobody ever talks about because what is it? So when I first moved out to the East Coast, I realized that the internet runs different out here.
Oh, it's a shit show.
Yeah, because when I lived in I lived in Los Angeles growing up. Our internet connection came through the same phone line, so you could just hook up a Cat 4 into a modem, and that was it. You were basically hooking up a repurposed DSL line that's been upgraded to run as an internet line, and that was giving you high speed internet
Yep.
without without having to worry about if someone had needed to pick up the phone. Come out to the East Coast, and I'm realizing, shit, why is this stuff all being hooked up by coaxial cables?
Because, the East Coast is so ass backwards it ain't even funny. And I say this having lived in the East Coast all my life.
Yeah, and then my wife, who grew up in the mountains, she's like, no, this happens in the Midwest too. It's just a more reliable connection if you're trying to run it long distance. The problem is, as the longer the cable you're running, the more chance the signal can actually degrade if the cable isn't kept up to date.
Nothing's kept up to date. Like even our regular like power infrastructure isn't. Like I know I've talked about like how we've had those outages that have been shitty since December. But like I remember growing up and we used to get power outages pretty damn often. Like it it was a mess. And then
Yeah,
like it was like it's one of those things like even now like
right.
you get some wind and you're lucky to get like all your power because like
Yeah,
again,
at that point, it sounds like the cables are being exposed with something.
dude, there's like you go down the street or even down one of the side streets where the power comes in from, and there's trees running on the lines because the power companies are too lazy to actually get someone out to get rid of that shit. How we even have power most of the time, I do not understand. I assume some kind of black
See,
magic fuckery with how fucked it is.
and here I thought city utilities usually the one that's supposed to handle that.
You'd think, but unfortunately, if they are, they're just fucking off. Like we only just finally got smart meters this like
Holy
this
shit.
week. Yeah, no. When I say it's ass backwards here, that's an understatement.
See, with the smart meters though, that's one where I'm like, that is not an upgrade that needed to be done because now you're telling me that you can just remotely shut off my connections if you wanted to. I've never been happy with something like that.
I, I fully get that, and yeah, I have the same reservations, but like it was an upgrade that like how long did everyone else have them at this point?
It's been what I think they started using those back in 2018. So yeah,
Yeah, we're only just getting them where I live, and we're only about an hour away from what's considered a city.
yeah.
Or
The hilarious. Oh, go ahead.
no, you're fine. You first.
I was gonna say the hilarious thing is that those smart meters for how they're supposed to work, everyone's like, oh, you're gonna lose control over your own stuff because someone can just push a button. It's like correction. If they have a clear signal connection, yes, they can remotely push a button. There's nothing stopping me from building a fucking what is it? A Faraday cage around the smart meter
Very
to cut
true.
the remote connection.
That is very
Or if
true.
it's a or if it's a hardline connection, hell, you can just split the connection, and now wherever the remote connection's going, it's not going to interface with anything.
And at this point, it would like I know this is gonna probably sound fucked up, and don't take this as legal advice, but
Hmm.
that's the smart thing to do because especially with how shitty these companies are. Like I even got a letter today, like which you probably saw me bitching about it on Twitter earlier,
Yeah.
which was from the company saying that hey, we should raise our things, and they were using the most manipulative language trying to prey on people, and it was very clearly trying to prey on people who were fucked over by the storms and fucked over by this thing and that thing, trying to appeal to emotions and whatnot.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's like, hey, like because of this, like the rising costs of this thing, that thing, labor, blah blah blah, self wank bullshit.
You
We
can't
need
ask
to
for upgrades when you ain't doing shit to fix the problems we have right now.
exactly like I know I like say like kind of bitch about how ass backwards things are, but legitimately things are so ass backwards both with the power companies, internet and whatnot here. I'm surprised nothing's actually like gone up in flames. Like the elementary school, like the one that in my town,
Right.
like every like about 10 yeah about every 10 years on the dot it seems like the transformer goes, actually maybe
Yeah.
11 because like when I was in like 7th or 8th grade the transformer literally exploded and like no one
Damn,
got
son.
hurt but it had to be replaced so kids were out for a bit, and then I come to find out this year it fucking happened again, and it's like okay, that's definitely not an issue with infrastructure or anything. But again, that just kind of comes back to where I'm saying everything is so ass backwards, and we're just supposed to give them more money. Like, how about they actually fix their shit and do it right this time? You know?
Yeah, for real. It's one of the things that horrified me about my hometown, because come to find out that the northern half of California had a forest fire that was kickstarted from a stupidly old transformer that hadn't been maintained. It was so old the dang thing just up and popped one day and started spraying sparks everywhere and the kickstarted the forest fire. But because it was an electric fire, it just kept spreading out of control faster than they could stop it.
That sucks.
Was it PG&E's response was, well, it's going to cost us too much to properly fix the infrastructure, so we're just going to shut off that entire sector.
That's the power company, right?
Yeah, PG&E.
The one we have here in Maine, at least for my area, is called Versant.
That's a reassuring name.
They were Bangor Hydro, and then had like another name, but they got bought out by the Canucks.
Uh,
Yeah, one of them things, I guess.
that's insane.
Yeah, that's just one thing that's extremely ass backwards about Maine. Like, we live where we do on the border, but like we even have like at least a solar farm, and instead of supplying the power here to Maine, nope.
It's sent north.
Yup. A lot of shit works that way, it seems like.
Yeah. So we have in the area we have a solar farm. Um, and I've talked to a bunch of people that I've met who work for the local power company, and they've told me that solar farm ain't worth shit.
They aren't. Like,
It's
people
pulling
always.
power. It's pulling power. Not enough to power the city. Not enough to power the rural area. It's basically a supplementary system for when the summer rolls around and people start jacking up the power usage because it gets so fucking hot out here from how humid it is.
It's been getting that way here. But yeah, that's one of the things, like, people are always like, yeah, man, you gotta go solar, gotta go wind. And it's like, no, nuclear has
Oh,
been
it's
and
got to be
always will
nuclear all the
be
way.
the fucking future. And yeah, I know, you're gonna try to appeal going, but Fukushima! Fucking
Yeah,
Maine
Fukushima wasn't built to
Yankee!
specs.
Fucking this one, that
It's
one,
like pull a name, of a
Chernobyl.
reactor where the reactor failed, and I'll tell you how it is that they screwed up.
Did you get the shit from Maine Yankee, by the way?
No, actually.
Yeah, I still wonder what the fuck happened. Why they keep trying to erase all that shit? Cause like that one, like that's one. Like, I hear people, or at least a couple, still talk about it, but you can't find shit on it.
Well, doing a quick search, there is a video from 12 years ago. Japan disaster prompts nuclear safety concerns in Maine. There is one from 11 months ago from the same news channel. Lawmakers consider a bill to study the construction of a nuclear power plant in Maine. But that's about it. Then you got, oh, here's Quimby did Borman versus Maine Yankee Atomic Power Company case brief summary law case explained from 8 months ago. Only 69 views.
Which is interesting. I still wonder why the hell they're trying to suppress everything on Maine Yankee. Because
Yeah, this is. Hold on, let me see this real quick. I'm gonna look at this.
what
This is
news?
like a minute 47 seconds. Keep going, keep going.
What news channel, by the way, was it like WABI, WVI, or one of them?
Here, I'll read it out to you. It was WMTW.
Ah, one I'm actually not familiar with. Nice.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Oh, hey, there's even a
WMT.
2004 plant reactor demolition from Maine Yankee.
Oh, that'd be Portland. Okay.
The inhuman wretch. 16 years old. Let's see, Vermont Yankee Revisit. WPTZ. Oh, this is Vermont. Okay.
Yeah, like I said, it seems like they're just trying to completely memory hole that shit.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. 3 years ago, Wiscasset's still trying to find its way without Maine Yankee.
Whoops. Not to be rude here. Like I am gonna get a little touchy. Because,
Uh huh.
like, this is something that people do, just like how people say Bangor is banger. Wiscasset.
Ah, Wiscasset.
Yeah, Wiscasset.
That's fine. There's an area north of here called when I first moved out here, my stupid ass kept saying Henrico.
Ah.
I know someone from the area that I trained working for the construction company. He's like, "Man, I know you ain't from here." He's like, "How long you been?" He's like, "How long you been living here?" I told him 10 years. He's like, "Shit, 10 years living here, you still don't know shit." And I'm like, "Let me teach you something real quick. It's not Henrico, it's Henrico."
Ah.
And he's like, and don't go saying Norfolk. It's not folk. It's
Norfolk.
Norfolk.
Oh, Norfolk, huh? See,
It's Norfolk.
we have a Norfolk here, but it's pronounced Norfolk.
Yeah,
So that's interesting.
yeah. It's because of the Tidewater accent. It has to sound a certain way.
Ah, yep.
Yep. So it's pretty interesting shit where it's just like the local lingo will fuck you up if you're trying to say it and you ain't from the area.
Oh, yeah. So, where do you say? Like, what state is that?
This is let me see real quick. This was I think this is in Maine. Bailey Point, Wiscasset.
We finally find some
And
small
it says
stuff.
Bangor Daily News.
Ah, yeah, Bangor Daily used to be great. Yeah, man. Sorry, I'm listening. Just,
Yeah, no, I'm listening to this video real quick. It's like a minute 47 seconds about this class that went on a tour of the main Yankee reactor. Oh shit.
what Joe shitting?
So company is doing repairs 2 weeks prior to this group of kids taking a tour of the reactor.
Oh,
The
shit.
engineers are telling the head honchos, hey, we need to flush out the hot spots so we can do these repairs correctly. Which the company knew that if they do that, it's going to release radioactive gas. They go ahead and do it anyway once they get the all clear to go ahead. The problem is that there's currently a tour going on,
Oh,
so
shit.
the tour guides and the fucking students are being exposed to the radioactive gas.
Damn.
Yep, they ended up testing positive for radiation exposure. They were told it wasn't harmful,
Huh.
but they lied to them.
Never. Mm.
Let's see, what else? Fuck.
That's always a good thing to hear. Just fuck. Okay.
Yeah, well, Borman was told. So the guy that sued in the case summary, the medical personnel told him your white blood cell count is low. That's like minor radiation sickness at that point.
I'm gonna be honest. I hear the word radiation sickness. It doesn't matter what you slap on it, minor, major. I just immediately go, oh fuck.
Oh no, it doesn't matter. Like for the way I see it, cool. You have higher percentage of survivability. You're gonna still be in rough shape if it's minor. But if it's like moderate radiation sickness or severe radiation sickness, your chances of surviving just start exponentially dropping to zero.
Yep, your ass is grass as soon as the rentgens
Yeah.
start going through you.
Yeah, it's because yeah, the more radiation, that goes through you, the more it fucks up your genes. And then if your own DNA can't even give out the proper instructions on what you're supposed to be doing, now you're just running on borrowed time.
Yep. Hey, I just realized something.
Oh, what's up?
We've kind of come full circle.
The non-ethical business practices.
No, no. Fucking nuclear radiation. We first time we like actually started talking and that came up. I don't know if it was on the podcast, maybe after the podcast. We were talking about that.
Yeah, actually, yeah, that you're right. We did after the podcast was over. We got into a conversation about nuclear power plants and just nuclear radiation in general.
And I even asked about Main Yankee then and made the same complaints I did now.
Yeah. See, that's the thing though. I like how they cut it. Quimby cuts it off to where Main Yankee tried to dismiss the case that they were getting sued over for battery, saying no, we kept in line with federal safety standards. That doesn't matter. Those federal safety standards obviously had a major flaw in them. If innocent people got exposed to radiation when they were touring your site,
Yep.
you know, if you're gonna be pumping out gas like that, you gotta seal that area off.
Exactly.
Like,
Exactly.
fuck. What was it? I remember once. Uh, I think the one time I got into an engine compartment, I was basically waved through a security checkpoint, and I had to immediately empty my tool bag, empty everything, had to empty my pockets, and then at the time I didn't understand why this was done. I was told, "Open your mouth, please,"
Oh dear.
and they shined a flashlight in there, grabbed a pair of forceps, lifted up my tongue, started checking everywhere. Come to find out, they were checking to make sure I wasn't chewing gum.
I take it that would have caused some serious problems.
Yes, because if you're not wearing a sealed respirator unit, which we weren't going to, and say there was a purge and and there was an accidental radiation leak in the area, the sure, I could get away fast enough to where I'm not going to get exposed, considering that I'm also going to run for the PPE to make sure I put it on so I can get out of the area safely if it's getting flooded. Not that it's going to happen, but we have the training for that just in case. But gum will be the fastest fucking thing that kills you if you manage to expose it to radioactive gas, because all the particulates, all the radioactive material will get stuck to the gum.
That's a pretty good case to avoid juicy fruit and doublemint.
Pretty much. It's like if you work with nuclear material, do not bring gum with you. It's not worth it. It's not worth the flavor blast. You want
Exactly.
to know how it feels to chew five gum? Go ahead and bring it into a nuclear reactive area. Go ahead.
Yep.
Be fucking high fiving Jesus in the morning. Yeah, because it'll cook you from the inside out, and because you can't get it out, it'll just stay in there until it burns a hole in your intestines.
Poor bastards.
Yeah, it's not a good way to go, and that's just depending on the amount of radiation that manages to get stuck to the gum,
Yep.
or well, radioactive material. Since people are gonna be like, he's not saying the right words.
Yeah. They hopefully they'd know what you meant, but people get touchy.
It's fine. I don't mind it. I like. I don't do this kind of work anymore just because one, it's very strict, which I don't mind that, but it's also the fact that people like to play games, which I think is really fucking stupid, because if we're being paid to carry out a job and you're telling me that this job is going to be held up because just because of a random bits and bobs that didn't get delivered on time, now we got to hold up an entire repair job. It's like, why is a third party delivering this to us when we could have just gone and grabbed the parts ourselves?
Yeah, exactly. But in a way, that kind of circles back to ethical business practices, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, it's ethical business practices along with just how badly are you screwing over your production efficacy and your efficiency to be able to output. Some people focus so much on output they'll fuck up everything else. Some people focus so much on ethics that they'll fuck up everything else. People don't know how to strike a balance. They they think that one approach is the best and they don't try going for a balanced approach to make sure everything works correctly. Or at least the dude at the very top of the entire food chain doesn't let the people below him do their jobs, even though they know how to do their jobs. It reminds me of the. Did you see the video of the chief of police that got slammed onto? Well, he didn't get slammed, but he got sat down onto a squad car.
I did not. Like, this
um.
conversation reminds me of an old political comic of a whole bunch of
Oh
buzzards
damn.
on a ladder, and, the one at the top of the ladder, not covered in shit, but everyone else, increasing
Covered in shit.
amounts. And it's, like, kind of reminds me of just the conversation we're having right now.
Yeah.
Anyways, back to the squad car. Go on.
Oh yeah, it's insane. But anyways, so this dude, he's the chief of police for. Yeah, let me look up Angry Cops' video because
Kind of surprised Donut Operator didn't do one. Or he might have.
uh, Donut probably did, but I saw Angry Cops cover it first.
Fair enough.
So I'll take my information from where I can get it.
Makes sense, yeah.
So yeah, police chief. Need to see where. Oh, this is his merch shop. Whoops.
I mean, let's for a quick ADHD aside. You mentioned merch shops, and that reminds me of Dan Crenshaw. On his merch shop, he sells fucking eye patches, just like the one he has. Like, I'm not even joking here when I say that. Like, I found that out a couple of years ago, and it's like, ah, I gotta respect that.
I have some friends that would have some choice words concerning Dan Crenshaw.
I mean, fair enough, but like the politician or dislike him, you gotta admit that's got some style to that.
Oh no, it's got some style. I'm not gonna lie, but it's like here's someone who claims to be for the people, and then at the same time votes to have weapons rights diminished or basically uh, have a lack thereof for his own constituents.
One thing I've noticed is the more in politics they become, the bigger oath breakers they become.
Yeah, well, it's not even that. It's like, cool. One side straight up doesn't want us to have it, but then our own people are also backstabbing us. So it's like, what the hell? It's
It's
time for a third party.
it's a uniparty, man. Like, they're
Yeah,
just the same thing at differing speeds, and I've been saying this since pretty early 2020. Like, I even got some shit in my house for even saying, look, this is what's happening. Just pay attention. This dude's a moron, and these guys are exactly the same.
yep. Ooh, there's an armed scholar video I gotta look at now because that's from 4 hours ago, but it's looking interesting. Oh wait, but that's probably California law. Either way, though, it's a good thing because I'm from there. I'd like to see people have a fighting chance.
Good luck, man.
Let's see. New Jersey police chief got sauced and tried to interject himself into a DWI investigation.
Oh,
uh,
holy.
he wrote the description. I appreciate this. Thank you, angry cops. Let's see. New Jersey police chief got sauced and tried to interject himself into a DWI investigation. Now, he didn't help. He messed it all up by scolding the shift supervisor for his worn out jacket. What a horrible representation of leadership, or a great example of toxic leadership.
Like, that's interesting. Like, you're talking about that, but, like, I remember, like, over 10 years ago, like, the vehicle my ma drove got its front, like, this was an Oldsmobile, just the front entirely taken off by a drunk driver who was
Right.
clearly going over, but because that person was friends with the sheriff at the time, like, the dude fucking got off scot-free. Like, if I recall, even the insurance kind of, like, it may not have done too much. And we had a rental town and country for a little bit, and that was nice,
Damn.
but again, dude was, where the dude was friendly with the, like, sheriff at the time, dude fucking got off, even bragged about it not too long after.
Jeez.
Unfortunately,
Man.
the one thing I find is corruption is universal.
Mm-hmm. That reminds me of this one Marine that I met a long time ago, when I was moving out to Colorado. Shit was funny because he tells me the story of how he's been like he just got out, got all his paperwork together, and was finally able to walk off base. Walks his sorry ass from where he's stationed and goes down to Los Angeles. So he goes from the northern end of California, starts walking down, and manages to hitch a ride with the sheriff's office because he's not supposed to be, or wait, is it either sheriff's office or highway patrol? They basically drive him to the closest town because it's illegal for him. I did not know this. It is illegal for you to be walking on the roads when you're not in the city. You have to
Fucking, why
drive.
is California such a ninny state? Not even a
I have
nanny
no
state,
fucking
a
clue.
fucking ninny state.
I'm hearing this from him, and I'm like, bro, hold on a second. I was born and raised in that state. The fuck you mean you can't walk out on those roads? He's like, no, you can't. Because that's what they're telling me. I'm just like, that sounds fucked. Okay, whatever. But he's telling me about how he ends up in this farm town, manages to get some help to get himself to Los Angeles. But whole fucking time though, there's this one punk that kept picking on him. Come to find out, it's the sheriff's son. Well, the sheriff's son thinks that he owns the joint because he's the sheriff's son. Tries to pick fights, and when he notices the Marine isn't backing down, decides to start wailing on the Marine, gets his ass handed to him and folded like an omelet. and and the sheriff himself hears what happens, comes and sees the situation, and sees, okay, the guy's a Marine. Turns out, sheriff's also a Marine. He goes, all right, so here's what's gonna happen. I'm not gonna throw you in jail, but I'm definitely not letting you stay here because I should throw your ass in jail for what you did. Granted, everyone here is corroborating, saying that he started it, so that pretty much clears you. However, a lot of people in this town are gonna have problems with what you just did, so let me get you the hell out of here first. Puts him in a car, drives him down the rest of the way to Los Angeles. And the whole time I'm thinking, man, how fucked is it that the sheriff himself is saying, I should throw you in jail, but I also know that my son started this shit.
It's really fucked. Like,
And
it
it's
kind of
like,
sounds like the sheriff's just set his son up for failure.
it's just like, damn, what is going on that you just like, how do you get an ego like that?
It's pretty, like, or at least to me anyways, it seems kind of obvious. And stop me if you've heard this one before. Lack of discipline. You know, your parents raised you pretty harsh, so you decide to go pretty easy on your kid, to the kid's detriment.
Yeah.
And you don't, like, discipline the kid like you should. Like, that's what it sounds like to me, because that I've seen kind of happen, so it's like...
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much what it sounds like. Like, granted, I understand, like, yeah, cool, you don't want to be as strict as your folks were. That's no reason to go in the exact opposite direction, though.
Exactly.
If you can figure out how hard you're supposed to step on the gas pedal, then you're already leagues ahead of where your folks would be.
Yep.
That's just one thing, is nobody teaches parenting. It's something that can't be taught. You literally have to teach yourself.
It's sink or swim, and it seems like nowadays most people sank.
Yeah, it was fucked up.
Yep.
Oh shit, it's already 12:11.
Yeah, if you gotta go, dude, it's totally fine.
I can end it here, yeah, because I got stuff I got to do tomorrow.
Yeah, have a good night, man.
Take it easy, man.
Yep. See ya. Thank you guys for watching TaterCast. See you guys soon.